Well, good morning. Welcome to Daily Videos with me, Pastor Michelle. Today is Sunday, so let's get us started with a little bit of prayer from this book, Emerge, which I'm really enjoying reading through some of the different prayers. So this is prayer when feeling apprehensive about grocery shopping. And in this day and age, it's hard. I'm going to go buy groceries now, God. I'm wearing a mask. I have hand sanitizer. There will be glass between me and the cashier. I'll be in and out in 20 minutes. I'll wash my hands the second I get home. Everything will be fine, won't it? Breathe. Do you get this, dear God, that I'm nervous? Grocery shopping used to be a chore, not a risk. Tell me I'm not being ridiculous. Don't say get over yourself. Don't say anything. Just take my hand. Is it safe to hold hands with you? Just come with me up and down the aisles. If you come, I'll be fine. You are the Lord of the bread aisle, the soup cans, and the frozen peas. You push my cart. You comfort me. And sadly, right now, in the age of a pandemic, it is a risk to go to the grocery store, especially now. And not everyone wears a mask, even when it's mandatory, So, I've not seen people not wearing a mask, but I know sometimes you do see people not wearing it correctly. So it's a crazy time. Let's start with some prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I was thinking what I plan on doing once things are back together. I want to dance. I want to dance with relief. I have that in my head because I just got done watching the scene on Seinfeld when Elaine dances, and she's like that. I'm not going to really do it, and she's like kicking her feet. It's the most hilarious dance, I swear. Yeah, sorry. It's good to have things to laugh at, but I'm sure a lot of you have plans on what to do when things are better. Go out and just shout to the world that you're happy. But for now, let's continue on with Hunger Games, shall we? And let's hear what happens with Katniss and Peeta and Cato. Cato just laughs. Shoot me, and he goes down with me. He's right. If I take him out and he falls into the mutts, Peeta is sure to die with him. We've reached a stalemate. I can't shoot Cato without killing Peeta too. He can't kill Peeta without guaranteeing an arrow in his brain. We stand like statues, both of us seeking an out. My muscles are strained so tightly they feel they might snap at any moment. My teeth clench to the breaking point. The mutts go silent, and the only thing I can hear is the blood pounding in my good ear. Peeta's lips are turning blue. If I don't do something quickly, he'll die of asphyxiation, and then I'll have lost him, and Cato will probably use his body as a weapon against me. In fact, I'm sure this is Cato's plan, because while he's stopped laughing, his lips are set in a triumphant smile. As if in a last-ditch effort, Peeta raises his fingers, dripping with blood from his leg, up to Cato's arms. Instead of trying to wrestle his way free, his forefinger veers off and makes a deliberate X on the back of Cato's hand. Cato realizes what it means exactly 1 second after I do. I can tell by the way the smile drops from his lips, but it's 1 second too late, because by that time my arrow is piercing his hand. He cries out and reflectively releases Peeta, who slams back against him. For a horrible moment, I think they're both going over. I dive forward, just catching hold of Peeta as Cato loses his footing on the blood-slick horn and plummets to the ground. We hear him hit the air, leaving his body on impact, and then the mutts attack him. Peeta and I hold on to each other, waiting for the cannon, waiting for the competition to finish, waiting to be released, but it doesn't happen, not yet, because this is the climax of the Hunger Games, and the audience expects a show. I don't watch, but I can hear the snarls, the growls, the howls of pain from both human and beast as Cato takes on the mutt pack. I can't understand how he can be surviving until I remember the body armor protecting him from ankle to neck, and I realize what a long night this could be. Cato must have a knife or sword or something too, something he had hidden in his clothes, because on occasion there's the death scream of a mutt or the sound of metal on metal as the blade collides with the golden horn. The combat moves around the side of the cornucopia, and I know Cato must be attempting the one maneuver that could save his life, to make his way around to the tail of the horn and rejoin us. But in the end, despite his remarkable strength and skill, he is simply overpowered. I don't know how long in his bed, maybe an hour or so, when Cato hits the ground and we hear the mutts dragging dragging him back into the cornucopia. Now they'll finish him off, I think. But there's still no cannon. Night falls and the anthem plays, and there's no picture of Cato in the sky, only the faint moans coming through the metal beneath us. The icy air blowing across the plain reminds me that the games are not over and may not be for who knows how long, and there's still no guarantee of victory. So, what is going to happen? We are nearing the end of Hunger Games, which is the first of the trilogy. And I do look forward to reading the new book that came out not too long ago. But let's dive right into this, shall we? And so, today, the story is lessons Trump supporters are teaching their children. Okay. This is John Pavlovich's words. Teach your children well. Their father's hell did slowly go by, and feed them on their dreams. The one they pick, the one you'll know by. That's Crosby, Stills, and Nash. One thing you learn as you raise children is that they're always watching, always listening, always learning, that you are always teaching them something, your values, how to treat people, how to be a human being. I wonder if people supporting this president and this administration realize what they're teaching their children. While what boosting his tweets and applauding his rally rants and celebrating his legislative assaults on vulnerable people are telling them. Whether they realize it or not, they're teaching their children. They're teaching their children that people don't matter. Human beings are things wielded in battles you manufacture in order to win. The actual flesh and blood lives on the other side of the stereotypes and slurs and caricatures. They have no intrinsic value. The moment you can dehumanize a person you've never met is the moment you free yourself from any responsibility for the damage you do or applaud someone else doing to them. What someone else is doing to them. Never apologize. When you are found to be wrong or speak in error, never admit it, no matter how far afield of facts you find yourself, or how grievous a mistake, or how divorced of reality your initial statements may have been. Simply double down, gaslight people, and attack your credibility, and integrity. But never admit the error, never, under any circumstance, apologize. That is failure. Diversity is dangerous. The no more differences around you, the more there is no fear. Threats always come from those who aren't like you. If someone's pigmentation or orientation or nation of origin doesn't match your own, they're probably someone you want to avoid or be wary of. Never seek out difference. Exclusion and self-preservation are the best defenses against the evils in the world. It's all about you. Forget the advice of your teachers and pastors and storybooks and discard all that nonsense about loving your neighbor as yourself or doing unto others as you've done to you. Other people's experiences are unimportant. In this universe, you are the solitary sun under which every other body revolves. The more you allow other people to be seen and heard, the less you will be able to thrive. This is a zero-sum game, and there's only one winner. Compassion is a flaw. To feel empathy is to show weakness. Sitting with people long enough to see them and understand their story and to feel a bit of their pain will only slow you down. The more callous you can become, the less vulnerable you are. The greatest virtue in this life is simply not to give a damn about other people. A dead heart is much better than a bleeding one. America is the world. Some people will tell you that all human beings on the planet have value, that humanity is one interdependent community sharing the same home, that a child 5,000 miles away is as important as one down the street or the one in your nursery. Don't buy it. The place where you live and the people who live there are better than everyone else. Women are less valuable than men. Consent is irrelevant. Autonomy is a myth. A woman's body does not belong to her. She exists solely for the pleasure and purpose of men, and this is true of wives and partners and blind dates and people who pass on the street. Whatever you do to women, no matter how vile, you will never be made accountable for. Cheat to win. The desired ends justify any possible means, no matter how vile or despicable. Rig every system, fix every game, stack every deck, and justify it all because the victory is all that matters. Fair play and honesty and being a person of honor are all of little value. What really matters is the prize, so be sure to get it. Winning is worth both someone else's pain and your soul. Whiteness is better. You'll hear a lot about equality and you'll even pretend it matters to you, but don't believe it for a second. God may have made all people in his image, but Caucasians bear far more resemblance. Never mind that if Adam and Eve existed, they come from a place without a Cracker Barrel. Just know that your pigmentation makes you superior to the bad people and those from shithole countries. Your convictions are for sale. Everything has a price. Your word, your allegiance, your vote, even your soul. Don't waste any time trying to cultivate personal morality forming a code of ethics, or standing for anything. Those things will only weigh you down and hinder your success. Instead, find which way the wind is blowing and move that way. See who the likely winners will be and cast your lots with them. Don't worry about your soul. Take the cash. Laws don't apply to you. In theory, society has rules and they must be followed by everyone. Well, not you, of course. It will be important to give lip service to doing things the right way and to valuing the Constitution and to obeying the laws in place. As such, declarations will divert people's attention from you disregarding anything that prevents your advancement or profiteering. But find the loopholes and use them. That's why they're there. Religion is a prop. Faith is simply a costume to put on when it profits you, a shiny veneer to cover yourself in order to ingratiate yourself into community with genuinely spiritual people who will think the best of you and thus will be easily fooled. Wield religious values like a rented tuxedo, wear them in public for special events, and soon discard them. And when in doubt, lie. The truth is malleable. It is something fluid. You get to define it for yourself, and for those who listen to you, have no concern about facts or objective reality or data. Instead, over and over, speak untruth with conviction. Tell the lies with confidence, and suddenly they will become true. And for those of you who are just tuning in, just know that this is John Pavlovich's words, and he's listing off, these are lessons that he fears that kids are learning right now during the current administration. A generation of children is learning these things from the people most entrusted to show them how to be human. These people are molding the lenses the children see the world through from birth. It will be almost impossible for them to discern reality. The rest of us will have to do all we can to remind them that this simply isn't good, right, or decent. The rest of us will have to do all we can to help them transcend their parents' prejudices and preferences and to embrace interdependence and equality and compassion. The world we become depends on it. As a wise one once said, it takes a village. And most certainly, it definitely does. And it's sad to see, that those are some of the lessons that inadvertently people are learning. And for me, the most important lesson of all, the most important thing in life is to love others, to love God, to love yourself. At the end of the day, as Ted Mosby says on How I Met Your Mother, love is the best thing we do. So why not do that? All the other crap that happens around us, it's all background noise if we're not loving, It doesn't matter how many times you donate money to a nonprofit organization. It doesn't matter, if you're not loving the people you're serving, I don't know. God bless you, and let's continue to love as best as we can, even in a time of social isolation.